We'll now be turning to our Yizkor service, beginning with our Yizkor speakers to help us frame this moment and this time. If anyone's interested in becoming a Yizkor speaker, please see one of us, and we'll be happy to have you as part of that process to reflect on your process as well as connect to your loved one. Our Yizkor speakers this year are David Ezekiel and Mark Zellemeyer. I think most of us have had the chance to get to know them over the years. David says that he's been a member for over 60 years. Could be longer. Could be longer. He had his bar mitzvah here when Rabbi Myers was the rabbi in 1972. He became our USY advisor and basketball coach back in the good old days when we had basketball for our teens. And he's still in touch with many of his students. He's chaired the membership, the budget, the finance committee, and served as president of our shul from 2002 to 2004 to 2006. That's right. Okay. He is still the organizer of our monthly men's Torah study group on Friday mornings. We're always looking for those interested in learning to come and join us. He manages both our Ladle Fund and the Best Ezekiel Memorial Fund, established by his late father, Fred Ezekiel, in memory of Bess, Zichronom Livracha. He's married to Elise Richmond Ezekiel, who is also a longtime leader and volunteer in our community. Their children all celebrated their B'nai Mitzvah right here, Hilana, Micah, and Neely. And I think most importantly, he's the Saba of Eden, who is one of my particular close friends. We'll invite him to share some words. It's a pleasure to have him as a wonderful friend, colleague, and teacher as he shares Torah in so many ways.
Thank you. I think the introduction is longer than the talk. So Chag Sameach, everybody. As I age, my memory is really not so great. I rarely can answer the questions, what year did we do something? Or when did such and such happen? So beyond knowing it was likely 30 plus or minus 5 years ago, I can remember going to a shiva call for Rabbi Eisenman after the loss of his second parent, which I think was his father. I was close with him, and he was very close with my parents, so I gave him a big hug, and I expressed my condolences. So despite being memory challenged, I can remember exactly what he said to me during that embrace. Thanks, David. Now I am an orphan. His words, spoken softly, yet with gravity, sadness, and a clear sense of finality, came back to me last February when my own dad died. No nuance, no shades of gray, no loopholes, and certainly no turning back. That day, February 9th, 2025, I became an orphan. Now, in our tradition, orphans are included among the most vulnerable in our community, alongside the stranger and the widow. Our Torah enjoins us to care for them, listing the three classes of widow, orphan, and stranger. Those three classes together at least 16 times. If you were at all paying attention and not sleeping during Phyllis's Torah reading, you saw even today that we're supposed to even rejoice with these three classes of people. We're supposed to enjoy the holiday. And among them, don't forget these three classes of people. In Exodus, as our ancestors were becoming a nation and learning new rules to live by, they were commanded, as we are now, V'ger lo toneh, v'lo tilchatzenu ki gerim heitem be'eretz Mitzrayim. You shall not wrong or oppress the stranger, for you were strangers in the land of Egypt. Kol almana v'yatom lo ta'anu. You shall not ill-treat any widow or orphan. If you do, God says, if you do mistreat them, I will heed their outcry as soon as they cry out to me. Fast forward to Deuteronomy, Moshe lists for the people a series of curses and blessings which will befall them or be granted to them, depending on their communal behavior. Among the curses, read in a very quiet, almost eerie tone, Arur, Mateh Mishpat, Ger Yatom V'Almanah, V'Amar Kol Ha'am, Amen. Cursed be the one who subverts the rights of the stranger, the fatherless, and the widow. And all the people shall say, Amen. And you know, every time I talk to you, I give a little plug for daily prayer, daily tefillot. And to emphasize this colossal importance of this idea, we recite Psalm 146 every single day, no exceptions that I know of. In it, we recognize God as the champion of the oppressed, feeder of the hungry, straightener of the bent, among the many other great mercies that he provides for us, his people. This list ends, Adonai shomer et gerim, yatom v'almanah. Adonai protects the strangers, the orphan, and the widow. And so as God does for us, we are obligated to do for each other the best we can, as we strive to imitate God as much as we are able. Now clearly, neither Rabbi Eisenman nor I are what the Torah means exactly by yatom. In fact, an orphan really was a fatherless person, not yet self-sufficient, and whose mother could be alive, but as a widow was also to be protected and supported. Yet though I am otherwise self-sufficient, the feeling of vulnerability and new responsibility was real and sudden, and in the moment, overwhelming. Who would advocate for me as only a parent can? Who would praise me with the love and pride only a parent has? Who would now share my burdens and counsel me as only a parent would know how to do? Who would gladly and willingly support me financially, in business, or for my personal needs, in an unconditional way only a parent fully invested in the well-being in his or her child could or would? Whose social standing would lift me up, relieving me from earning my own, as only my parents could? Essentially, who will protect me now? These questions filled my mind hundreds upon hundreds of times as I recited Kaddish Yatom this past year. We call it the mourner's Kaddish. It's really the orphan's Kaddish. And even though I'm not now orphaned in the way the Torah meant, I am yet orphaned in a very real way, with the feelings of loss and vulnerability with which I still am learning to understand and process. Maybe that'll be a lifetime pursuit. But please don't think for a moment, however, that God's commandments to care for the orphan don't apply to orphans like me. I needed each and every hug, kind word, fond memory, shared value, and moments of companionship in both social settings and in prayer. My parents can no longer care for me, protect me, as only parents can, but my community of Temple Muna did as I navigated my first year as a Yatom. For that, I have only gratitude. Chag Sameach.
יישר כוח, David.